Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Serena and you're joining me today for a simple seaside flow. We'll begin our practice in a seated position, so you can sit cross-legged or otherwise. Feel your sits bones grow heavy and the crown of your head grow light. All of the space in between lengthens. And from here, you may close your eyes down, soften the face, and welcome yourself to your practice with a few deep breaths. And now, building on the breath, we'll add some movement. Inhale to sweep the arms up and overhead, palms together. Exhale, left hand down outside of your left hip. Reach your right fingertips up and over. Reach your right hand towards the front of the mat. Sweep it all the way across towards the right, and now left arm reaches up and over. We'll go back and forth a couple of times. So really reaching the fingertips forward as you come around, off to the side, and just starting to find some more space in the muscles that line the sides of the waist, the intercostal muscles between the ribs, and the muscles that support the spine, hips, and lower back. Allow your movement to express the tempo of your breath here, so you can slow it down if the breath is really slow, or speed it up if the breath is a little quicker today. One more time, off to the right. And then as you inhale, come up through center, palms together. Bring your hands down to heart center, relax your shoulders. Release your hands down to your knees, sitting up tall. We'll drop the chin to the chest to look down towards the pelvis or the belly button. And then you can start to roll your head from side to side. So right ear to right shoulder, chin to chest, left ear to left shoulder. Going back and forth, drawing a semicircle with the nose a couple of times just to get into the neck. Keep the shoulders back and down. Inhale to come back to center, gaze forward. And we'll switch up our positioning here to come into tabletop position, standing on all fours. Wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Give yourself a couple rocks forward and back, and balance the weight equally between your wrists and your finger pads. From here, as you inhale, arch your back, lift your chin, look forward. Exhale, round the spine, tuck your chin, look at your belly button. This is cat-cow. We'll flow back and forth a couple of times. So exhaling to round the spine, inhaling to arch, warming up muscles in the spine, the hips, and the shoulders. And I like to really connect to the idea of using muscles to move the bones here. So really creating a deeper mind-body connection. Come back to a neutral spine position. Walk your hands forward, one hand print, so you can drop your elbows down to the mat. Gaze between your forearms, begin to walk your knees back, and we'll allow the chest to melt down until you can drop either your forehead or your chin down to the mat in between the arms. Allow your back to arch here. Try to keep your hips lined up over top of your knees. You can adjust if you need to. And create stability by pressing your finger pads down into the mat. If it's possible, try to keep your hands shoulder width apart rather than allowing them to turn in towards each other. And as the heart melts down, give your hips a little sway from side to side, getting a little bit more into the side body. Press your palms into the earth so you can lift your forehead, gaze forward, and glide forward into a sphinx, releasing the front of your hips down to the mat. Adjust if you need, so elbows are bent 90 degrees, tops of the feet on the floor. Press your elbows down, draw your navel in, lift up through the crown of the head. If you want more, you can lift your elbows off the mat, straighten out the arms, roll the shoulders back and down, seal pose. As we start to come out, bend your elbows and scoop them off to the side so you can lower your chest and chin to the mat. Slide your hands back under your shoulders, press up through tabletop, and we'll send the hips all the way back to the heels. Relax your forehead to the floor. Keep your fingertips reaching forward, child's pose. Grip your hands into the mat. Inhale, pull yourself forward. You can bend your elbows, find cobra pose, lift the chest, and as you exhale, melt your chest and your chin down to the floor. Take your hands out wider, tense your fingertips. Inhale, again, chest peels up, gaze forward. Exhale to slowly lower ribcage, chest, chin back down to the mat. Replace your hands underneath your shoulders. Press yourself back to child's pose, length through the lower back. We'll do that again. Inhale, roll forward, pull the chest forward, hips down, cobra pose. Exhale, melt your chest down to the mat. Reposition your hands, tense your fingertips. Inhale, lift your chest any amount. Exhale to melt back down to the floor. Hands underneath the shoulders, palms flat. Press back to child's pose, lower your forehead to the floor. One more time, nice and smooth. Spread your fingers wide. Inhale, pull forward, cobra pose, drop the hips. Exhale, relax down. Take your hands out wide, tense your fingertips, elbows up. Inhale, lift your chest. And exhale to slowly drop the chest and chin back down. Take your hands, palms flat underneath the shoulders. Press back to child's pose, hips to heels, forehead to the mat. Nice work. Take a grounding breath here. And now we'll take the hands, walk them back beside the knees, pop up onto tented fingertips, thumbs in, fingertips out so the elbows hug in. Inhale, press down through the fingertips, tuck your chin, slowly roll up. And as you exhale, pour the heart forward. At the bottom, you can drop your forehead back down to the mat. Again, inhale, root down through the fingertips, round through the spine as you rise up. Open your chest, chin forward, gaze forward. Exhale to slowly pour the chest back down. Again, inhale, finding movement through the spine here. Press down through the fingertips. Roll the shoulders back and down. Exhale, begin to allow the chest to pour forward. Forehead comes down last. Let's round the spine all the way up one more time, this time staying at the top. Plant your hands in front of your knees, palms flat, fingers forward, and give yourself a little shift side to side. Just pouring the weight from one shin, top of one foot to the other. And then recenter yourself here. Walk your hands forward through tabletop. Spread your fingers out wide, and we're going to head into our first downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under, lift your knees, press your hips back and up. Let your head hang between your arms. You can come up a little higher onto the balls of your feet and give your legs a pedal here, bending deeper into one knee and then the other, creating more spaciousness in the hamstrings, calves, backs of the legs. Maintain length, let that pedaling action go, and then we'll gaze forward and gently drop the knees back down into our tabletop position. The next time you inhale, send your right leg back, point your toes. Exhale, touch your right knee to your right elbow. Inhale to re-extend the right leg. Exhale, tap your right knee down behind the left, little crisscross. Again, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen, point the toes. Exhale, tap your knee down behind the left. And one more time, inhale. Exhale, core engages. Inhale, length. Exhale, tap your knee back down. Something different this time. Inhale, send your leg back. As you exhale, pull your right knee towards the center of the chest, round your spine, step your right foot up between your hands. Ground your left knee, pick up your left foot, turn it off to the side, kick, stand your left shin. Right hand down inside of the right foot, peel your chest open to the left, reach your left fingertips up to the sky. Draw your ribs in. As you inhale, come up through center, and then take your left hand outside left thigh, right arm reaches up and over. Exhale, take your right hand back down, reach your left arm up and over. Back and forth. Inhale, right arm reaches, right side waist long. Exhale, right hand down, left side of the waist long. Inhale, finding more length with each repetition here. And exhale, right hand down. Come up once more, reach your right hand back and up. This time as we exhale, windmill the hands down, frame the right foot. Left foot to the back of the mat. Extend your right leg back behind you, three-legged tabletop. Right away, we'll bring the right leg forward. Tap your knee to your wrist without turning the foot out to the side. Wiggle your left knee back until you can sit on your right heel. Left toes tuck under. Come up onto tented fingertips. Puff your chest out. Pull your shoulders back and down. If you want a little bit more, press back through the left heel. Lift your left knee up off the mat. Keep the hips heavy, so doing our best to connect right hip to right heel with the chest proud and lifted. To come out, plant your hands flat on the mat. Keep your back toes tucked under. Press down through the hands, lift your hips, slide your right knee up to the right elbow, and step your right foot outside of your right hand. Lizard lunge. Go ahead and drop your left knee down. If you'd like, turn your right toes out 45 degrees. Inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. Open your chest to the right. As you exhale, right elbow comes down inside of the right foot. Inhale, twist open. Exhale, elbow comes down. It may or may not touch the floor. Inhale, open up. Exhale, elbow comes down. One more time, open up the chest here. This time, reaching towards the back of the mat with your right hand. Option to bind, you can bend your left knee behind you, grab onto your foot with your hand, roll the right shoulder onto the back body to open the chest more. Continue to allow your hips to travel down and forward here. Unshrug your left ear from your left shoulder and keep a little bend in your left elbow. Release your bind if you have it. Take your right hand down inside of your right foot. Back toes tuck under, lift your knee. Keep your hips low. Step left foot outside of left hand. Turn your toes out. We're in a nice deep squat here. Reach your fingertips forward. Balance it out by reaching your tailbone back and down. Strengthen the legs. Inhale, release, stand tall. Sweep your arms up and overhead. Turn your toes forward. Little bend in the knees. Hinge forward. Semi-wide-legged forward fold. Release the weight of your head down. You can give yourself a little ragdoll here, grabbing onto opposite elbows. Maintain a gentle bend in the knees, sway side to side. Go ahead and release your fingertips back down to the floor, moving towards our regular forward fold. Heel toe your feet in to about hip width apart or whatever feels comfortable. Relax your chest over your thighs. Bring your hands to your shins on your next inhale, lift up halfway. As you exhale, bend your knees, drop your hands back down to the mat, step back to high plank, top of a push-up. Drop your knees down, tabletop position. We'll take a quick break in child's pose, hips to the heels, forehead to the floor. You can even allow your elbows to melt down, give your shoulders a little bit of a break. You can completely surrender here. Allow the front of the body, your forehead, your chest, your belly, your forearms to sink down a little heavier, feeling supported by the mat, by the earth beneath you. When you're ready, we'll prepare for our second side. Lift your forehead, gaze forward, grip your hands into the mat, pull forward to tabletop position. Inhale, extend your left leg back behind you. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, left leg straight back. Exhale, crisscross the legs, left knee behind the right. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, contract the core, elbow to knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, tap your left knee down. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Breathe in and lengthen. Exhale, left knee down behind the right. Now send your left leg straight back behind you. Exhale, left knee to the center of the chest, round your spine, step your left foot forward. We're in a low lunge position. Pick up the right foot, turn it towards the left, kickstand your right shin and take your right hand down inside of your right foot. Peel your left arm open towards the sky, stack your shoulders, gaze up at your right thumb. Draw your belly in, inhale, come up. Lower your right hand down outside of your right thigh, left arm reaches up and over. And then back to that original position, left hand inside of left shin, right arm reaches up and over. Inhale, lengthen, left arm reaches back. Exhale, left hand down, right arm reaches forward. Again, let this become nice and flowy and fluid as you start to familiarize yourself with this movement pattern. One more time, we'll reach up and over with the left hand. Exhale to windmill your hands down, frame your left foot. Turn your right foot to the back of the mat, sweep your left leg back behind you. Exhale to bring your left knee forward, tap it to the back of your left wrist. Notice I'm not turning my left heel out to the side like pigeon. Slide your right knee back, sit down on top of your left heel. Tuck your right toes under at the back of the mat. Bring yourself up onto tented fingertips, puff your chest out, roll the shoulders back and down. If you want more, again, you can press back through the right heel, lift your right knee, keep your chest proud, but the hips heavy. You can gaze straight forward, unscrunch your shoulders away from your ears. Continuing to move here, we'll plant the hands flat on the floor. Make sure fingertips face forward. Back toes tucked, press down through your hands to lift your hips. Slide your left knee up to your left elbow, and then step left foot outside of left pinky finger. Drop your right knee down. You can untuck your toes, turn your left foot out 45 degrees. Inhale, spiral your chest to the left, left arm reaches up. Exhale, left elbow comes down. Inhale, twist and open. Exhale, allow the elbow to come down inside of the left foot. Again, inhale, open up. Exhale, left elbow comes down. Once more, same thing, but see if you can find just a little bit more rotation. Bring your elbow down. And this time as we open the chest to the left, sweep your left hand all the way to the back of the mat. Either hold here or bend your right knee. Grab onto your right foot with your left hand. Left shoulder away from the left ear. Roll your shoulder blade onto the back body to roll the left chest and pec open. Maybe look back for your right foot behind you. If you have your grip, you can release. Take your left hand back down to the top of the mat inside of your left foot. Tuck your back toes so you can lift your knee. Try to keep your hips low. Step right foot just outside of the right hand. Toes turn out. Hips low. Reach your fingertips forward. Draw your ribs and belly in. Squeeze your glutes. Legs strong here. Press down through your feet. Release. Rise up. Reach the arms overhead. Turn your toes forward. Hinge forward from the hips. As you exhale, come down to a semi-wide legged forward folds. This time we'll bend the knees a little bit more so you can take your hands to the backs of your ankles, fingertips facing down. Draw your elbows together behind your calves. Bring some more weight into the balls of your feet and work towards straightening the legs a little bit more by lifting the hips up towards the ceiling. Keep the head relaxed, back of the neck long. Feel this elongation through the entire back body here. Release your fingertips down to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, heel toe the feet a little wider. Turn your toes out. Sink your hips all the way down, Malasana. Pull the heart forward and through. You can take your hands to heart center. Chin parallel to the floor. Gaze forward. There's just a little bit of work happening in the glutes to keep the knees tracking over the toes. Let's take one more breath here. One at a time, take the hands down to the mat behind you. Using the support of your hands, lower yourself to a seat. You can move back a little bit so you've got some space in front of you. Open your knees out to the sides. Bring the soles of your feet together. Now I want you to try this. Rather than pulling the heels in as close as you can, take the heels out a little further so you've got a diamond shape between the legs. This is going to get a little bit more into the outer hips and glutes. You can hold onto your ankles. Inhale to lift your chest, lengthen the spine. Exhale to hinge forward from the hips. Keep the knees out wide. Allow your head to relax down towards the feet here. Don't worry if it doesn't touch. That's not the goal. The goal is to get a beautiful stretch and release in the outer part of the hips that are often working hard to keep us standing, walking, running, surfing, whatever it is that you're doing. Use the next inhale to rise back up. You can take the hands back behind you and straighten out the legs in front. I'm just going to turn so you can see me, but you can stay as you are on your mat. Open your left leg out to the left. Bend your right knee. Bring the sole of your foot inside of your thigh. Plant your right hand behind you. Inhale, reach your left arm up to the sky. As you exhale, turn towards your right. Take your left hand across to the outside of your right knee or thigh. Look back over your right shoulder. Inhale, length through the spine. Exhale to twist a little bit deeper from the base of the spine all the way up to the neck. So we want to maintain length as we take the left hand away from the right knee. Bring it outside of the left leg. Right hand to the inside. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Flex your left foot. And as you exhale, you can begin to hinge forward. Walk your hands towards your left foot. It doesn't matter if you can grab your foot or not. In fact, sometimes I prefer to keep the hands or the elbows on the floor. Keep a long line between hips and shoulders as you breathe into the back of the left leg. Now you can turn your chest open to the side as you bring your left hand inside of your left foot. Reach your right arm up and over. Right fingertips reach in the same direction as your left heel. Keep your left foot flexed. If you want a little bit more, you can drop your left elbow down to the floor. Just make sure that your right sit bone stays anchored. Inhale to come up through center. Hands behind you for support. Switch your legs. Right leg out, left leg in. Take your left hand behind you. Inhale, right arm reaches up and over. Turn your chest towards the left as you take your right hand to the outside of your left knee or thigh. Sit up as tall as you can. Feel that both of your sits bones are equally rooted down into the floor as you lift up through the crown of your head and create length in the spine that you can use to deepen your twist. Turn all the way around, right hand outside of right leg, left hand inside. Flex your right foot. Take a big breath in, lift your chest, lengthen your spine. Exhale, hinge forward. Walk your hands towards the right foot here. Again, remember the goal is not to grab your foot. Maybe try keeping your hands on the ground today. You could drop the elbows down as well. Reach your heart center towards your right big toe and allow your head to relax down towards your right knee, thigh, or shin. Opening to the side, take your right hand inside of your right leg. Sweep your left arm up and over. Be sure to keep your right foot flexed. Don't let your left glute peel up off the ground. If you want a little bit more here, go ahead and drop your right elbow down to the floor. Really feel this length down the left side body from your hip all the way up to the fingertips. You can gaze up inside of the left arm. Take a big inhale to come up through center. Cross your shins in front of you, Sukhasana, easy pose, hands on your knees. And let's finish off our movement practice here just by using the hands on the knees to guide the upper body in big, slow circles. Continue to breathe deeply. And then switch directions. Go a couple of times the other way around, circling out the upper body, keeping the hips rooted to the earth. Let these circles start to grow a little bit smaller here until you eventually bring yourself back to center, shoulders stacked over the hips, nice tall spine, gaze forward. Amazing work. So take a deep breath here, find your center, find your calm, and then we'll begin to make our way into our final Savasana. So you can extend your legs out in front of you, gently roll yourself down onto your back, release the back of your head down onto the mat. Extend your legs, relax your arms on the mat beside you, soften your toes and your fingertips, close your eyes down. Acknowledge the work you've done on your mat today, and trust and surrender to the fact that it is enough to bring you the benefits you seek from this practice. Give yourself this important time to rest. And this is where I'll leave you off for this video, but please feel free to stay a little longer, to linger in your Savasana if you have the time. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you again next time. Namaste.